Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and as you will see here, I took off and then noticed that I didn't have any readings for altitude because I didn't want to run into any of the buildings or equipment around here, so I needed to know my height. So I landed again and rebooted the controller and rebooted the or started up the app again, waited for enough satellites, and took off. And there's more, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but the purpose of this video is to test out a DJI Mavic Mini 1 black battery and see if it works okay in my DJI Mini 2. They say it does, and my brother sent me a battery that he purchased for me to test it out. So that's what I'm doing here, is testing it out. But the interesting thing about having to restart my drone was the same thing exactly happened on the same day to my friend Eamon in Ireland, and I'll put a link to his site. He took off his Bebop 2 and right off the bat didn't notice that his he didn't have any readings because of GPS, not enough satellites, and so he took off, and then after he got a little ways, well, then he noticed it, but he kept flying and eventually lost his drone because it didn't know where return to home was and where home was. And he tried to, he just lost it. And he's been an inspiration. We've been good friends for a long time. Back when I was flying little $70 drones that had no camera and had no control, I watched a lot of his videos because he'd flown helicopters, RC helicopters, and then he got into drones. And he was like an inspiration to me, and I appreciate him. He's a good friend. And I'm sorry to hear that he lost his drone. So that was a sad story, and it might have been because that day, the same day, both over in Ireland and in the USA, we weren't getting satellite coverage very well, and that could have been related to the ionosphere. So who knows? But anyway, if you take off and notice you don't have any readings, then land right away and start all over. And this is, there's a stiff breeze out, so besides testing the Mavic 1, or the Mini 1 battery, I took this opportunity to fly because we had a real stiff breeze. It's windy. As you can see, the trees are moving around. The propeller on my weather vane should be turning, and after I got through doing the filming, I went over and tapped it with a rod, and it started spinning. So something got jammed up somewhere. I probably need to oil it. But as you can see, the Mini is, it has low mass. It's deliberately made to have low mass. So the wind is going to bounce it around. Like when you get up close to something, you can see how it's being bounced around, but always comes back to where it was. Its low mass is a lot different. Like my Mavic 2 Zoom weighed 2 pounds, and so when the breeze hit it, or any shift in the breeze, the air went around it because it didn't move very easy. But the Mini 2, just like the Mini 1, is less than half a pound, so it's easily moved around by breezes. So anyway, I just decided to go out and test that battery, so I wanted to fly it until it got down to less than 50%. And if you notice back there, I tried to do a circle around a point, and it didn't work too well, and because of the gusts of wind and stuff. So anyway, I've flown under this tree a bunch of times in previous videos, but I try to make every flying opportunity a chance to practice my skills. And so I thought, well, I'll fly underneath, and I'll go out front of the house. I'm still standing in the backyard. I'll go out front and see how the trees are doing out there, and maybe do a circle around a point of this tree that's coming up right there. Now, you won't notice me jumping around because I'm not close enough to it. So it's actually okay in a breeze like this with variable winds and gusts that you can do a circle about a point. But just up close, it didn't go too well because I was bouncing around too much. So anyway, so I got a circle around a point there. And then as I came around to the other side of the house, there's the donkey and the baby donkey that at that point is less than a week old. And the interesting thing is when I would come down here, well, she'd turn around and run and gallop to the other end. But since she had her little one, she seems to be a lot more gentle. And she may be saying, oh, that's just that crazy guy with the drone. And of course, the little guy, he's interested in seeing what's going on. But anyway, we had quite a breeze, and the battery, as far as the black battery that's made for the Mavic Mini 1, works just fine. I flew for, over 50%, and it worked just fine. And so I'll be using it because it's a lot lower maintenance than the LiPo batteries that come with the Mini 2. And as you can see, the wind's whipping the Christmas lights around a lot. And so it was a windy day, and I think the little Mini did just fine in the wind. And he also did just fine with the black battery, lithium-ion battery. So I want to thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it, and God bless.